My theory on the origin of surahs and also some thoughts on the origins of Islam. The surahs are commentary from a specific school of yeshiva in modern-day Iraq by the same name, similar to Pumbedita, the modern-day Fallujah. The word surah denotes Strong's number 5493 Hebrew, which is commonly known in Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 20 as the removed or the remnant. As a side note, the name for the supposed Goliath in Surah chapter 2, 246 bears remarkable similarity to Strong's number 1546 Hebrew. In conclusion, to me, Surah is a yeshivic term for the commentary of those who are, quote, removed, or those of the diaspora after the destruction of Jerusalem of AD 70. Looking into this, as surahs were originally written in Babylonian Aramaic, but after the Arabic conquest of Uthman, were subsequently burned after being translated and transliterated into Arabic by command of Uthman. Seeing it now as surah being a commentary, the Quran is basically an Arabic version or collected Arabic oral sermons, Arabic versions of a hodgepodge of Jewish apocryphal literature and rejected Talmudic and yeshivic commentaries that didn't make it into the rest of the rabbinical Talmudic communities, such like Pseudo-Jonathan, the Jerusalem Talmud, Testament of Solomon, Proto-Evangelium of James, Syriac Infancy of Matthew, and others. The evidence for this is that the Quran itself assumes context or pretext for the Injil, or the Evangelion, which was the Arabic Diatessaron, which earlier versions include stories of Jesus making birds of clay, killing and raising people for the heck of it, and so on. Fragments of these Gospels are strewn about, and most notably in Surah Maryam, for example, where Gabriel is actually described in Arabic in the script as the Holy Spirit. By the time of AD 650, the Messianic, or more like pseudo-Messianic movements began with the obsession with Mahdis, who would serve as conventional Mahmads, like Nehemiah ben Hushiel. My theory on the Mahdi comes from the word Hadi, or Mahdi, Strong's number 3593 Hebrew, 3595 Hebrew, and 3598 Hebrew, which occurs 83 times in the Furqan and 5 times in the New Testament, by comparison. This is my personal perspective, simply based on the basic philological observation of the three-worded word ha, deh, and ya, as well as the Greek root for o, delta, and nomos. Hadi is in the Bible as hodos in Greek, found in references such as John chapter 16, verse 13, Acts chapter 8, verse 13, Matthew chapter 22, verse 16, and Revelation chapter 7, verse 17. Notably, and I would say that this would be the main reference, John chapter 14, verse 16, in contrast to such examples as Matthew chapter 23, verse 16. Throughout the history and the timeline of the origin of Islam, would say that the Arabs caught on to this pseudo-messianic movement and created their own Mahmad, so to say, which is an honorific term for a Jewish exiliarch before the Arab conquest. Mahmad is, in Hebrew, found one time in Song of Solomon and also one time in Ezekiel, whenever in the story of Ezekiel, God comes to Ezekiel and he says, I will take away the delight, I will take away the Mahmad from your eyes. Also found in Song of Solomon as Mahmadim in the plural. This was an honorific term for the Jewish exiliarch before the Arab conquest, and subsequently a honorific term for the Messiah himself. Muhammad, or Muhammad, was the Arabic equivalent, which has its roots in Syriac Aramaic. And this Muhammad, who probably never actually existed at all, is mentioned only 4 times in the Quran, again as an honorific term, but not as an actual person. And the rest is history, and also the subject for another video for another time.